Breaking news! The Pittsburgh Steelers are entering Week 3 in what looks like a crucial and decisive game against the New England Patriots, and the stakes couldn't be higher. After two sloppy performances in the season opener, on both sides of the court, the Steelers desperately need a clean, assertive performance. Man, in my opinion, this should be a must-win for the Steelers. If you agree with me, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any updates this season. Like me, I know you fans must be a little bummed about the first two games. If possible, write this: Go Steelers! Let's beat the Patriots. While there were some signs of life in the win against the Jets in Week 1, last week's loss to Seattle at home exposed cracks in the armor. Offensively, the inconsistencies continue, and defensively, the unit hasn't lived up to its reputation. The problems go beyond execution. They're structural, putting pressure on the coaching staff to adjust quickly before the season ends. Injuries are already a factor after just 3 weeks. The Steelers will be without safety Deshaun Elliott, who continues to recover from a knee injury. More damaging, however, is the loss of Alex Highsmith to an ankle sprain. He's expected to be out 4 to 6 weeks. This is a huge blow, considering he's a key player in the pass rush, alongside TJ Watt. Isaiah Loudermilk is also out with an ankle sprain. Both losses will test the depth of the defensive line, especially against a Patriots offense led by a rising young quarterback, Drake May. There's some hope that linebacker Derek Harmon could return from a preseason knee injury, and the status of Joey Porter Jr., who has been hampered by a hamstring issue, remains uncertain. His availability would be critical against a Patriots receiving core that includes Stephon Diggs, Kayshon Boutte, and Pop Douglas. Christian Gonzalez is also questionable for New England, which could be a factor in how the Steelers attack through the air. Speaking of New England, this isn't your classic Patriots squad under Bill Belichick. Mike Vrabel is now the head coach, bringing his playoff pedigree from Tennessee to a new-look Patriots team. Josh McDaniels is handling the offense, running an Erhardt-Perkins scheme that puts a heavy load on the quarterback to make pre-snap adjustments and protections. So far, Drake May has handled the pressure well. Through 2 weeks, he's completed over 70% of his passes, averaging more than 250 yards per game, with 4 touchdowns and just 1 interception. That stat line is impressive, but it's important to note that his success has come against 2 of the worst secondaries in football, Las Vegas and Miami. This week will be a completely different test. The Steelers' defense, despite its flaws, has far more talent and could be the first real challenge May faces this season. But that's only if they play to their potential. TJ Watt will need help now that Highsmith is sidelined, and that puts a bigger spotlight on players like Nick Herbig and the interior line. The Patriots' offensive line is not without its weaknesses. Rookie left tackle Will Campbell has technical skills, but his historically short wingspan is a disadvantage the Steelers need to exploit. Jared Wilson at left guard and Garrett Bradbury at center both struggle in pass protection, making the middle of the line a target for pressure. On the other side of the ball, the Steelers have to find offensive consistency, and it starts with one name: Jaylen Warren. He accounted for over half of the team's offensive production in Week 2, proving himself not just as a runner, but as a legitimate receiving threat out of the backfield. His vision, contact balance, and cutting ability are elite. At this point, it's fair to ask whether he is the most dynamic weapon on the offense. If so, then feed him. Find ways to get the ball in his hands, both in the run game and through designed passing plays.
Aaron Rodgers, after a lackluster showing against Seattle, needs to re-engage with play action. All 3 of his non-touch pass touchdowns in Week 1 came off play action. But in Week 2, there was far too much shotgun and empty sets, elements that don't align with what Arthur Smith's offense is built to do. The Steelers need to recommit to under-center looks and use the threat of Jaylen Warren to open up play-action lanes for Rodgers. With his legendary ball fake and field vision, this is where he can exploit even good defenses. Another area that must be utilized more effectively is the slot. The Patriots, especially if Christian Gonzalez is out, are vulnerable there. Marcus Jones is decent, but far from a lockdown corner. The Steelers must creatively deploy Calvin Austin III, Roman Wilson, and even Jonnu Smith to create mismatches inside. And where's Pat Freiermuth? The drops have to stop. This offense needs him to be a reliable target, especially over the middle where Rodgers thrives. Defensively, adjustments must be made against the run. The Steelers have been gashed in back-to-back weeks, and it's largely due to structural flaws. Keanu Benton, as the primary nose tackle, has struggled with double teams and has been consistently pushed off the line. That's simply not sustainable. The coaching staff needs to seriously consider sliding rookie Y.A. Black into that nose tackle role. At 330-plus pounds with long arms, he has the physical tools to anchor the middle and free up the linebackers behind him. That would allow Benton to shift to a more disruptive role, possibly in the 5-tech or 3-tech spots, where his athleticism can shine. But it's not just the front line. P.T.O.N. Wilson, who came into the season with so much hype, has been a major liability against the run. His pursuit angles are poor, he abandons his run fits, and he looks lost more often than not. If he doesn't tighten things up this week, the Steelers need to look to Cole Holcomb on early downs. There's simply too much at stake to let mistakes slide. Trayvon Henderson, the rookie running back out of Ohio State, brings a different dynamic than Ramondre Stevenson. He's got big play potential and showed real explosiveness in the preseason. The Steelers better have a plan to contain him, or they'll find themselves chasing another young back for big gains. Avoiding self-inflicted wounds is non-negotiable. The Steelers beat themselves last week with mental errors and unforced mistakes. Whether it was Kenneth Walker's 3rd and 19 touchdown, Caleb Johnson blowing a coverage, or Calvin Austin's bizarre interception, these are the types of moments that flip games. Take those out, and Pittsburgh might be 2-0 right now. There's no sugarcoating it. The Steelers are more talented than the Patriots, top to bottom. But talent won't be enough if they continue to shoot themselves in the foot. This game presents a golden opportunity to clean things up, reestablish identity, and build momentum heading into the heart of the season. Mike Tomlin has a strong track record against young quarterbacks, and this defense should be licking its chops to face Drake May. The game won't be easy, but it is winnable, and it's exactly the kind of moment that separates contenders from pretenders. What do you think, Steelers Nation? Do the black and gold get back on track this week against New England, or are we in for another frustrating afternoon? Let's talk about what needs to happen for that get-right moment to finally arrive, because there's no room for moral victories at this stage, not with the standards this franchise holds. The coaching staff, led by Mike Tomlin and new offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, are under pressure to do more than just survive these early weeks. They need to send a statement. That starts with smarter scheming and better deployment of the talent available. It's time to stop experimenting with players and roles that don't suit their strengths. On defense, shifting Y.A. Black to nose tackle isn't just a good idea, it might be essential. He's shown the raw traits that scream run stuffer. He's long, strong, and built to take on double teams. That's the prototype you need in the middle, especially when your current anchor is getting pushed backward more often than not. Giving Benton more freedom to attack from the 3-tech spot could unlock more of his disruptive ability, something the Steelers need if they're going to start winning the battle in the trenches. If Derek Harmon is healthy enough to go, don't ease him in, let him make an impact right away. He was a beast against the run in college, and this defense needs someone who can bring that kind of presence immediately. The lack of push and poor gap control has been killing this team on early downs. You fix that, and suddenly the rest of the defense starts to click again. Linebacker play needs a spark too. P.T.O.N. Wilson came into the season with endorsements from names like Luke Kuechly and Patrick Queen, but through 2 weeks, the hype hasn't translated. The angles are off, the reads are slow, and the missed assignments are stacking up. If he doesn't lock it in this week, Mike Tomlin needs to make a hard decision and give Cole Holcomb a bigger role on early downs. It's about results now. There's no time left for learning curves if the defense is going to be championship caliber. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and click on the video that's on your screen right now for more exclusive Steelers breakdowns every week, every game, right here. You want the news first? You'll find it right here.